Welcome to today's urgent update on one of the most intense and heartbreaking conflicts unfolding in 2025. The city of Goma, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has become a battleground as the M23 rebels launch a powerful and coordinated assault against government forces, the FARDC. With thousands of terrified civilians fleeing for their lives and international tensions at an all-time high, the fight for this vital city threatens to plunge the entire Great Lakes region into chaos. But how did we get here? What's driving this deadly conflict? And what does it mean for the people of Goma and beyond? In this video, we'll unpack the dramatic chain of events leading to this moment, the historical roots of the rebellion, and the devastating humanitarian crisis now gripping the region. Stay tuned as we dive deep into the heart of this crisis to uncover the truth and its global implications. On January 26, 2025, the city of Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, became the focal point of intense conflict as M23 rebels advanced towards the city, clashing with the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, FARDC. This escalation has not only heightened regional tensions but also exacerbated an already dire humanitarian crisis. Background of the conflict: the M23 rebellion traces its roots to a 2009 peace agreement between the Congolese government and the National Congress for the Defense of the People, CNDP, a Tutsi-led rebel group. The M23, named after the March 23 date of the accord, accuses the DRC government of failing to honor the agreement, particularly concerning the integration of its fighters into the national army and the protection of Tutsi communities. Over the years, the M23 has resurfaced, citing these grievances and asserting the need to defend Tutsi interests against various militias operating in the region. Recent developments leading to the Goma offensive in early January 2025, M23 rebels captured the town of Masisi, the administrative center of Masisi Territory in North Kivu Province. This strategic move was followed by the seizure of Minova on January 21st, a critical trading hub that supplies Goma. The fall of Minova effectively cut off a major supply route to the city, setting the stage for the rebels' advance towards Goma. The battle for Goma: by January 26, M23 fighters had reached the outskirts of Goma, leading to intense clashes with FARDC forces. The rebels' rapid advance caused widespread panic among the city's approximately 2 million residents. Thousands fled their homes, seeking safety in neighboring regions and across the border into Rwanda. The situation was further compounded by the closure of Goma's airport, disrupting both civilian flights and humanitarian aid deliveries. Reports indicate that the M23, bolstered by alleged Rwandan military support, launched coordinated attacks from multiple fronts. The Congolese army, despite reinforcements, struggled to hold defensive positions. The intensity of the fighting resulted in significant casualties on both sides, including the deaths of at least 13 international peacekeepers. Humanitarian impact: the rapid escalation of violence has led to a severe humanitarian crisis. Thousands of civilians have been displaced, with many seeking refuge in overcrowded camps lacking adequate food, water, and medical supplies. The UN estimates that over 21 million people across the DRC are in need of humanitarian assistance, a number that is expected to rise as the conflict continues. Aid agencies are struggling to access affected areas due to security concerns and infrastructure challenges, further complicating relief efforts. Historical context and implications: the current conflict is reminiscent of past regional wars in the late 1990s and early 2000s, where foreign involvement in the DRC led to widespread devastation. The mineral-rich Eastern Congo has long been a battleground for various armed groups vying for control, often with external support. The potential fall of Goma to the M23 could have far-reaching implications, potentially destabilizing the broader Great Lakes region and leading to a protracted conflict with significant human and economic costs. The UN Security Council was due to meet a day earlier than planned on Sunday to discuss the crisis, diplomats said, after 3 UN peacekeepers, 2 South Africans and a Uruguayan, were killed. 7 other South African soldiers and 3 from Malawi serving in a separate Southern African mission were also killed this week, South African and UN authorities said. 3 years into their current insurgency, the rebels, who the United Nations says received backing from neighboring Rwanda, now control more Congolese territory than ever before. Well-trained and professionally armed, M23, the latest in a long line of Tutsi-led rebel movements, says it exists to protect Congo's ethnic Tutsi population. Congo's government, however, says the rebels are proxies for Kigali's expansionist ambitions in the region, an accusation the Rwandan government has long denied. Congo severed all diplomatic ties with Rwanda amid this week's rebel offensive. Congo's army said on Saturday Rwandan snipers were responsible for the killing of North Kivu's military governor on the front line a day earlier. A spokesperson for Rwanda's government did not respond to a request for comment. Aid agencies are concerned about the conflict's impact on civilians, warning that the fighting will deepen what is already one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Several 100,000 people had been forced to flee multiple zones of fighting since the latest M23 offensive began around Goma on January 23, the Office of the UN Humanitarian Coordinator said in a statement. Several sites on the outskirts of Goma, sheltering more than 300,000 displaced people, were completely emptied in the space of a few hours, the statement said. The escalation in violence has forced the World Food Programme to temporarily pause emergency operations, its executive director said in a social media post on Sunday. This story has been corrected to reflect that the killed Malawi soldiers were part of Southern African Mission, not UN, in paragraphs 3 and 4. Subscribe at OG TV Show YouTube channel to get our latest news and updates.